Hey guys, I'm Melissa and welcome to my channel. If you don't know, I am a registered dietitian and I make videos about food and nutrition and healthy recipes and all sorts of topics in the nutrition realm. So if you like that, then make sure you are subscribed to my channel if you're not already. And yeah, so today I thought we would talk about a topic that is getting a lot of attention, and that is probiotics. I feel like probiotics are really having a moment. They're kind of everywhere, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, but I feel like a lot of people don't necessarily know what probiotics are and if they should be taking probiotics. So I thought we would delve into that a little bit today. So before we talk about what probiotics actually are, I think it's important to talk about our bodies and how our GI tract and our gut works. So in our bodies, our gastrointestinal tract has tons of bacteria, like billions and trillions of bacteria in it. And some are good, some are bad. And the balance of that bacteria plays a huge factor in our health. There are tons of things that can affect that balance of good and bad bacteria. A lot of studies show that, oh, there's a tail. A lot of studies show that the balance of our gut bacteria can start as early as birth. I read one study that showed that people who had a natural birth have a different balance of gut bacteria than those who were born via C-section. Also, things early in life that can affect our gut bacteria. Breastfeeding promotes growth of the good bacteria. So babies that are breastfed starting early in life can have a higher amount of good bacteria than babies who are bottle formula. Also, things like smoking and stress can affect your gut bacteria. Those types of things tend to drive out the good bacteria and promote growth of the bad bacteria. So that's a balance that we do not want. Our diet definitely can affect our gut bacteria. So one major factor of our gut microbe is fiber. So fiber is a substance that our body cannot digest. So it goes through the GI tract, it gets to the colon where there's a ton of bacteria, and then those bacteria have the chance to ferment the fiber, which promotes more growth and diversity in the GI tract. So fiber is one thing. Some studies also show that eating fruits and nuts can cause the promotion of good bacteria. And there's also some studies that show things like having a high fat diet can affect the balance of your gut bacteria, but there's not really any solid evidence as of yet to say exactly how one diet affects your gut bacteria more than the other. I wonder how many times I'll say gut bacteria in this video. Why do we care about these bacteria? What effect does it have on our bodies? So the balance of your gut bacteria actually has a huge effect on your body. They can affect metabolism. So there's lots of studies right now showing that obese people have a different balance of bacteria than lean people, and that the bacteria balance in the obese people slows metabolism, whereas the bacteria in the lean people speeds up metabolism. So that's a huge effect. They also play a huge role in our immune system. So people who have that imbalance could get sick easier. So something I find really interesting is that the bacteria actually affect your brain, and we do still need to do more studies about why this is occurring and exactly how it works. They're not really sure yet, but there are studies showing that the balance of your gut bacteria, it can affect your mood, it can affect things like anxiety and depression. There's even studies that show a relation of gut bacteria with diseases like schizophrenia, autism, and Parkinson's disease. So all of those diseases have some sort of GI distress that go along with them a lot of the time. So they do think that there is some sort of correlation, but they're not entirely sure what that correlation is and how it works. So like I said, we don't fully understand how those bacteria affect our bodies and the mechanism behind it, but it's clear that they do have a huge effect on pretty much overall the way our bodies work, our metabolism, our immune system, our mood, other aspects of our brain. So that's a little bit about our bodies and how the bacteria in our bodies work. If you have any, I hope that made sense. If you have any questions, leave them below. I'm not an expert on bacteria, but I did get all of this information from reliable peer-reviewed sources, and I'd be happy to link those below as well if you want to read them yourselves. So moving on to probiotics. So probiotics are good bacteria that are either the same or very similar to the good bacteria that is found in our bodies. And the point of consuming them is to promote the growth of more good bacteria in your gut so that hopefully that balance can be more good bacteria than bad bacteria. So where do we find probiotics? A huge dietary source of these is fermented food. But when a food is fermented, it goes through a process called lactofermentation. During that process, good bacteria feeds on the sugars and the starches of that particular food, and it leaves the food with good bacteria in it. It also digests part of the food, which makes it easier for your body to digest it, and it makes nutrients in it more bioavailable. Examples of that are things like Greek yogurt, kimchi, sauerkraut, kombucha, which is becoming really popular. That's a fermented beverage. Even some soft cheeses, and then tempeh, which is fermented soybeans, I believe, and even like pickles. So those are all great sources of probiotics that you can add to your diet. Another option is taking a probiotic supplement. Now, I don't think that is necessary for everyone to go out and buy a probiotic. I personally do take a probiotic. I started taking it, I don't know, like a year or so ago. I was on like a fairly long-term antibiotic treatment, and it did not agree with my body. So I decided to try a probiotic just to see if it would help, and honestly, from my experience, it helped pretty much instantly. So if you are experiencing any type of GI distress, I think giving a probiotic a try is a good idea. So the one that I really like is called Nature's Bounty Ultra Strength Probiotic 10. I get this at Costco. It has 20 billion live probiotic cultures, and it basically has a bunch of lactobacillus strains and also a bifidobacterium lactis. And I take 2 of these a day. I did, when I ran out of this and I didn't feel like going to Costco, I did find one on Amazon that I really did not like. It just didn't agree with me, and it's this Deep Immune Probiotics by Dr. Tobias. So this only has 4.4 billion live bacteria. It also has something called Pre4 Pro. I don't know what that is, so that could be what didn't agree with me. But this basically only has 1 lactobacillus strain and 1 bifidobacterium strain. So I don't know. Basically, the point of that is not all probiotics are created equal. Not all of them have the same bacteria in them, and not all of them will work for everyone. Another thing to keep in mind is that probiotics are technically a dietary supplement, so they are not regulated by the FDA, meaning what you see on that label might not necessarily be what is in there. So just something to keep in mind. So in conclusion, we definitely need to do more research about probiotics. As of right now, they can't really be used to treat a particular disease state or anything like that. However, it's clear that the bacteria in our gut does have a lot to do with how our bodies work, and that providing more good bacteria to our gut does have beneficial outcomes. So do I think that everyone needs to take a probiotic? No, but I don't think that it hurts, and definitely adding some fermented probiotic foods into your diet doesn't hurt either. So I hope that this was helpful. I hope that you learned something. If you have any more questions, please leave them below and I will do my best to answer them. If you have any other topics in nutrition that you would like me to cover, then please let me know. I'm happy to do some research and make a video about them. And yeah, please make sure you are subscribed to my channel. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.